So students, the third kingdom classification is kingdom fungi. Kingdom fungi includes all the multicellular organisms. Only few are unicellular also like yeast, but rest other organisms under kingdom fungi are multicellular, means many cells are present. Eukaryotic, they are also the eukaryotic organisms. Eukaryotic meaning is the having true nucleus, well developed nucleus is present in their cells, and showing parasitic or saprophytic mode of nutrition. In parasitic or saprophytic mode of nutrition, meaning is that the organisms of fungi which are taking nutrition from the dead matters are called the saprophytic organisms or showing saprophytic nutrition, and if some fungus which are taking nutrition from the living organisms and causing diseases to the organisms are called the parasites or showing parasitic mode of nutrition. These organisms of kingdom fungi are showing reproduction by the spore formation. Now, I have already told you their characteristic wise, some are few cells organisms like yeast. Yeast is having few cells but attached with each other and not able to see by the naked eye. We need microscope to see the single cell of yeast, but together it is present together in the form of chain or cluster. Next characteristic eukaryotic. Eukaryotic true nucleus is present in all types of fungi. Eukaryotic characteristic was the kingdom Protista also. Only kingdom Monera organisms were having prokaryotic cell structure, nuclear structure. Next, reproduction by spore formation. All are having spores which are spreading in the environment, and whenever it will get the favorable condition, it can develop into new organisms. Some examples of kingdom fungi are like yeast, molds and mushroom. Yeast are basically for making bread, cakes, idli, dosa, and it is very rich in vitamin B. Yeast is also used for commercial production of alcohol and wine by growing them on natural sugars present in grains like rice, wheat, barley, some fruit juices, etc. And another example is the mushroom. Some mushrooms are edible. Edible means which we can eat, like white button mushroom is edible. We can eat the mushroom, but not all the mushrooms are edible. Some are wild also, and these all are showing that saprophytic behavior. One best example is the molds. Molds is also called, the scientific name is the rhizopus. Rhizopus, or basically called the bread mold. Have you seen rotten bread or stale bread? If you have not, some fungus grows on the stale bread. If you have not seen, then what you can do, you can take one slice of bread and sprinkle some water on this and keep it in a warm place where high temperature is there. Then after one day, you can next day you can see, or 2 days you can see some thread like structures, brownish or greenish structures are growing on the outer surface of the bread. It means that fungus is growing. Which fungus is growing on the bread which is spoiling the bread? That fungus name is mold, commonly called bread mold, but its scientific name is rhizopus. Now, structure wise, this bread mold or molds having thread like structure which is called the mycelium. That thread like structures are present which are called the mycelium. Together that mycelium forms the hyphae. Hyphae are also the part of mycelium, that filamentous body, and the hyphae are either multicellular or multinucleate. The cells are covered from outside by cell wall made up of chitin or cellulose. They do not contain chlorophyll. All the types of organisms which comes under the kingdom fungi does not contain the chlorophyll. So it is not able to make their own food. That's why these kingdom fungi, organisms of kingdom fungi are showing saprophytic mode of nutrition or parasitic mode of nutrition. Basically saprophytic mode of nutrition, taking their nutrition from the dead matters like bread mold. Rhizopus is eating bread or spoiling other food items like apple, orange or other things. Mushroom is growing on that stems, organic leaf litters and these things. And yeast is growing, is very helpful for making bread or other things. Okay, so or vinegar or wine, these fungi are very helpful. So these are showing heterotrophic or absorptive mode of nutrition. Their reproduction is formed by the spore formation. When it becomes very mature, then these sporangium, spore case, these are called the spore case, are filled with the spores, like it looks like a balloon. When we fill so much amount of air in the balloon, then what will happen? That balloon will burst. So when it will become mature, mature means when so much amount of so many spores can be present in that sporangium or spore case, then it will burst. When it will burst, then it will remove all its spores in the environment, and whenever it will get the favorable condition like food item like bread or other chapati or fruits are kept in that high temperature area, then spores can gather on that food item and spoil that food items or taking their nutrition from the other food items like bread. That's why its name is the rhizopus or commonly called the bread mold. So these fungi are very helpful also. I have already told you for making idli, dosa or vinegar or wine. Some mushrooms are edible and some fungi are helpful like penicillium. Penicillium are helpful for making the medicine antibiotic, and the name of that antibiotic is the Penicillium notatum. Penicillium notatum is the type of medicine or the antibiotics. These fungi are help in recycling of nutrients in the biosphere. It also act as a natural decomposers. Fungi are also called the natural decomposers, helpful in cleaning the environment. Not only beneficial side of fungi are there, but harmful effects are also present of the fungi like parasitic fungi. Parasitic fungi are causing diseases. Some fungal diseases, skin diseases, they cause diseases in plants like loose smut of wheat, potato blight also occurs in plants. Some of the fungi spoil food and hot clothes, shoes, wooden materials, books, etc., spoiling the papers or woods. That's why we use paint on the wooden materials. Types of fungus lives between the toes in human and cause terrible itching. This cause of disease is known as athlete's foot. It present in between the toes of the foot, okay, and it can cause itching also. So not only importance of fungi are present, but harmful effects of fungi are also there. So this is the third kingdom of under 5 kingdom classification. First kingdom was the kingdom Monera, example bacteria. Second kingdom was the kingdom Protista, example amoeba. third kingdom is the kingdom fungi, example yeast or mushroom or molds. Okay. Now next, fourth kingdom which was given by Robert Whittaker is the kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae was also given by the Robert H. Whittaker. That is the fourth kingdom, comes under the fourth 5 kingdom classification. Fourth kingdom is the kingdom Plantae. By its name, its characteristics are also clear. An example, all the plants, or we can say all the green plants comes under this category. Okay. These are the plants are the multicellular in nature. Multicellular means many cells are present. Nucleus wise eukaryotic in nucleus means well defined nucleus is present in the plants, and they are showing autotrophic mode of nutrition. By the process of photosynthesis, due to presence of chlorophyll in the plants can make their own food. That's why plants are showing which type of nutrition? It is called the autotrophic mode of nutrition. And plants are stationary. Stationary meaning is it is not showing locomotion, fixed. Plants are fixed. It is not showing, it is not changing its places. Have you seen any plant like mango tree? If today that mango tree is one place, then tomorrow it will go in any other side? No. But it is not showing locomotion. Why it is not showing locomotion, and why animals are showing locomotion? Because animals are not able to make their own food. In search of food, animals are showing locomotion. Plants can make their own food due to presence of chlorophyll by the process of photosynthesis. That's why plants are fixed and stationary. Some climbing characteristic or creeping characteristics of plants are there, but it is also having the support. But it is not changing its place. Why it is not changing its place? Because it is able to make its own food and providing shelter to other organisms. So these are the basic characteristics of the plants. Plants are multicellular, plants are eukaryotic in nature, plants are autotrophic in nature due to presence of chlorophyll, and plants are stationary or fixed, not changing its places. So these are the characteristics of plants, and examples of this kingdom Plantae is all types of green plants, herb category, shrub category or tree categories. Herb categories like a small plant like coriander, grasses comes under the herb category. Shrub category like rose plant, hibiscus plant comes under the shrub category, and trees like mango tree, neem tree, peepal tree, all types of trees also comes under the green plant or belongs to the kingdom Plantae. So Robert H. Whittaker has given the 5 kingdom classification. First kingdom was the kingdom Monera, example bacteria. You have to learn these kingdom names in correct sequence. First kingdom Monera, example bacteria. Second kingdom Protista, example, at least one example you should learn, that is the kingdom Protista, example amoeba. Third kingdom is the kingdom Fungi, example mushroom or mold. And fourth kingdom is the kingdom Plantae. Plantae example is the rose plant or all types of green plants. So these are the 4 kingdoms comes under the 5 kingdom classification which was given by Robert Whittaker. Now the last kingdom under kingdom this 5 kingdom classification is the what? Kingdom Animalia, 5th kingdom. 5th kingdom is known as Kingdom Animalia. Examples: all the animals. Smaller animals like worms, insects, or bigger animals like rat, elephant, tiger, even human beings also comes under the kingdom Animalia. Which kingdom? Animalia. All types of animals comes under this category. Now, characteristic feature wise, this animals, kingdom Animalia, organisms are having different characteristics. These are having so many cells. Body is made up of many cells. In our body also millions of billions of trillions of cells are present. That's why we comes under multicellular organisms. So kingdom Animalia, organisms, all the animals are having so many cells. That's why we are called multicellular organism. And eukaryotic in nature means true nucleus is present in the cell body. That nucleus is covered by a membrane. That's why it is called the eukaryotic nucleus. True nucleus or well defined nucleus is present. Nutrition wise, all the animals are showing heterotrophic nutrition. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic because chlorophyll is not present in the cells of the cell body of the animals. That's why animals are not able to make their own food. They depend directly or indirectly on the green plants. Okay. So in that nutrition wise, directly or indirectly on the green plants. How directly? Some are herbivore organisms which are plant eaters. They are eating directly the green plant. And how indirectly? Some are carnivore organisms which are not eating plant but they are eating the plant eaters, other herbivores. For example, deer is herbivore animal. It is eating the grass. And tiger is carnivore animals. It is not eating the grass but it can eat the deer. So indirectly it is taking nutrition from the green plants. Okay. So and human beings comes under the omnivore. Omnivore meaning is the organisms which are eating both plants and animals both. That's why human beings comes under the category of omnivore. So herbivore, carnivore and omnivore characteristics are of the heterotrophic nutrition. That's why herbivore, carnivore or omnivore, 3 categories of heterotrophic nutrition is there. That's why animals are also called are also showing the holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition, which includes herbivorous animals, carnivorous animals and omnivorous animals. Now, this kingdom Animalia, the vast kingdom, okay, the largest kingdom among all other 5 kingdoms. Okay. Kingdom Monera includes few organisms, bacteria. Kingdom Protista also includes few organisms, amoeba, paramecium, euglena and few more. Kingdom Fungi also includes that few organisms like molds, yeast, mushroom. Kingdom Plantae, higher category, but not higher than the animal category. It is lower than the animal category. Highest category among all the living organism is the kingdom Animalia. Okay. Now this kingdom Animalia, all the animals comes under this category, is further divided into two parts. This kingdom Animalia further divided into two parts according to the presence and absence of the backbone. Okay. Now, so the organism, the lower category of kingdom Animalia is known as invertebrates, and higher category is known as the vertebrates. Invertebrate meaning is the organisms without backbone comes under invertebrates. Organisms without backbone. And vertebrate means organisms with backbone. If animals are not having backbone, comes under lower category. Lower category is called the invertebrates, and animals are having that backbone, then it is called the vertebrates. Example of invertebrate, any example? Like insects or worms comes under invertebrates, and example of this vertebrates like human beings, lion, rat, tiger, elephant comes under this vertebrates. Now, not only this invertebrates and vertebrates are also further divided into different categories. These categories of kingdom Animalia, invertebrate, is called the phylum. Now, this kingdom Animalia, invertebrate category, kingdom Animalia, which category? Invertebrates. First category, lower category is the invertebrates, and another category vertebrates. Invertebrates are further classified into different parts. That different parts are known as the phylum. What it is called? Phylum. Smaller groups which are called the phylums. Okay. Now, for how many parts it is divided? Now, total is the number of invertebrates is the total phylum, that is the 9 phylums. In your book it is given 10 phylum, but it should be clear, it is the 9 phylum. They are considering that 10th phylum, Chordata phylum, as the invertebrate category, but it comes under vertebrates category. Now, first phylum name is the phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera. Second phylum name is the phylum Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Cnidaria or Coelenterata. Third phylum name is the Ctenophora. Ctenophora. These terms you have to learn. Fourth phylum name is phylum Platyhelminthes. Phylum Platyhelminthes. Fifth phylum name is the phylum Nematoda or Cl7-Ch2 Nematoda. Sixth phylum name is the Annelida. Annelida. Seventh phylum name is the Arthropoda. Then eighth phylum name is the Mollusca. Ninth phylum name is the Echinodermata. So students, you have to learn all the names of these phylum. These like I have written on the board, the phylum names 1 to 9 comes under the invertebrates category. In your book 10th one is also given chordata, but chordata comes under the vertebrates. So phylum names first sequence wise, correct sequence, in correct sequence you have to learn. First phylum name should be Porifera, then Cnidaria, then Ctenophora, then Platyhelminthes, then Nematoda, then sixth Annelida, then Arthropoda, then eighth Mollusca, and last Echinodermata. So these organisms of these groups or phylums, so lower category, are not having backbone, without backbone. They are without backbone. That's why it is called the invertebrates. These phylums comes under the invertebrates. So students, under the invertebrates category, first phylum name is out of among all the 9 phylums, first phylum name is phylum Porifera. This phylum Porifera belongs to invertebrate category, meaning is without backbone animals of kingdom Animalia. So first phylum is phylum Porifera. This phylum includes the aquatic habitat found in fresh water, mainly in fresh water areas, and attached to the substratum. It basically attached in the water area with a substratum, and it is having why its name is Porifera, because so many pores are present. Pores mean small openings are present on the organisms of this phylum Porifera to supply of water. Water can come inside and move outside, and upper portion of this phylum Porifera organisms is known as the mouth or osculum. Then water can move out from its body. Examples, many examples are given in your book of this phylum Porifera, like this cycon. Cycon is given, and that spongilla, leucocolonia, etc. are given. See this cycon, it is attached to the substratum in the water, and small openings are present, and so many openings are present which are called the pores, and upper opening is called the osculum. And that's why so many pores are present on its body. That's why it is called the Porifera, and the name of the phylum, first phylum of invertebrate category, is the Porifera. I have brought one real spongilla example for you people. See this is the spongilla, specimen of spongilla, sponges. It is the animal, belongs to which kingdom? Kingdom Animalia, among all the 5 kingdom classification, and in kingdom Animalia, that first category, lower category, that invertebrates, animal without backbone, and first one is the phylum Porifera. One example is cycon, another example is the spongilla. Sponges comes under this category of animals, that is the phylum Porifera. Okay, this is the specimen of the real animal, that is the spongilla. Next phylum is the phylum Cl7-Ch2 Cl7-Ch2 meaning is bag-like or sack-like body. Body is like a bag, thela. Okay, Cl7-Ch2. So they are sack-like animals, readily symmetrical and sedimentary or living in fresh water. Mostly free living in water and mostly present in marine water. Some are present in fresh water also, mostly are in marine animals. Marine means present in salty water or sea water. Throughout the body is present a continuous cavity called coelentron. It is having the continuous cavity. This cavity is known as the coelentron. That's why it is comes under the sac-like body or Cl7-Ch2. Bag-like body is present. Or it communicates with outside through mouth only. Around the mouth, it's around the mouth, so many finger-like projections are present. That finger-like projections are called the tentacles to capture the prey or its food. Suppose this is the food and tentacles are present at the top and it can capture the food. That's why peculiar characteristic finger-like structures are present, which are known as the tentacles, present in the on the top of its mouth. Okay, at the head portion it is present around its mouth. They contain nematocytes or stinging cells are also present. Example for this, Hydra I have drawn on this board also. These tentacles are present. Then Aurelia, then Metridium, or Aurelia is also called the jellyfish. Jellyfish is also the example of that phylum Cl7-Ch2. See the specimen of this jellyfish. That this is the animal, and this animal is having the tentacles, marine animal, and having pores, tentacles on its body. Okay, so it is living in water and belongs to which phylum? Phylum Cl7-Ch2 of invertebrate category of kingdom Animalia. Okay, so this is the real example of this phylum Cl7-Ch2. Example is the jellyfish. Next phylum is the phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophora, they are the marine animals. This ball-like structure is present. Diploblastic, having tissue level of organisms. Reproduction is sexual only, fertilization is external. They have radial body symmetry and lack coelom. Coelom or bag-like structure is not present. Examples like Pleurobrachia. Pleurobrachia, Coeloplana or Ctenoplana are such examples of phylum Ctenophora. So first is the phylum Porifera, example Cycon or Spongilla. Phylum Cl7-Ch2, example is the Hydra or jellyfish, and next is the phylum Ctenophora, example is Pleurobrachia or Ctenoplana. A specimen was not available in the lab. That's why I have not brought a specimen for this Ctenophora. Next is the phylum, fourth phylum name is phylum Platyhelminthes. Helminth, small body, flat worms, commonly called the flat worms. Platyhelminthes organisms comes under the flat worm category. Body of this flat worms, dorsoventrally forming a leaf-like or ribbon-like body or flat body. Bilateral symmetry is there. They are having organ system level of organization. They are acoelomates, that is without any body cavity. Body cavity is not present. Mouth is there. Exterior pores are present, acetabulum is present, then unipore is present, oral suckers are present in this flat worms. Examples of this flat worm is the Fasciola hepatica or commonly called the liver fluke. Liver fluke is the example, planaria is the example, and Tinea solium or tapeworm is also the example of which phylum? Phylum Platyhelminthes. This, see this, the real animal, flat worm, or it is called the tapeworm. Okay, Tinea solium, this is the specimen of Tinea solium, that animal. Okay, see this, in your book also diagram is given. Tape like body or ribbon like body is, flat ribbon like body is present. You can see whitish color, this body is present. Generally present in the human intestine or animal's intestine also. Okay, so students, it is up to here I have completed phylum Porifera, pore like body, cycon or spongilla is the example. Again I am showing spongilla specimen. See this spongilla invertebrate group. Then this next phylum is phylum Coelenterata. Jellyfish is the example. Next phylum is the Ctenophora. Example is the Pleurobranchia, ball like structure. And fourth phylum name is the Platyhelminthes. That phylum flat worms are present. That Tinea solium, this tapeworm is the common name of this Tinea solium is the tapeworm. As the example of this phylum Platyhelminthes. Next phylums like phylum Nematoda, phylum Annelida, phylum Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Chordata I will explain in next video lecture. Thank you.